Hello, everybody. I'd like to welcome you. I have some surprises today, real surprises. Nothing where we're saying this, and that. Everything I present today is going to be true. And some people may not like what I have to say, and they might decide to unsubscribe me. But you know what? One second, please. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had my my audio running. Okay, so I'm going to say some stuff today, and none of this stuff is out there. And this is fact, but I'm going to explain one thing first off. I'm going to show you a video done yesterday by this woman from Austria, and she was in the show with the rat. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you what this woman said, and then you're going to understand where I'm coming from. But here it is right here.
We're trying to get you in here.
And I hope that everybody is right. Like Mr. I don't want to. You are just boring as fuck. You can't stop it, coward. Question: why did you like that on the street, homeless? Just so what? I want to talk about him. Please go and fuck yourself and stop talking behind our backs. Especially you can't win against an activist. The following part is about a few individuals. You can see already the.
Okay, so you have this woman admitting that she's an activist, and she is with the rat, who is really a rat. To bring my brother up, and you don't know my brother, and to do it this way is like real dirty. So this is the way you want to play. I know so many things here. Why would you do this? And rat, tomorrow I'm going to expose who you are because I know who you are. This show is going to be today something totally different. I have a surprise guest. And my guest might piss people off, but I really don't give a hoot. This is about justice. This is about telling the truth. And what people have to understand, there are no sides in this. People say, we're being used. We're being used to take sides. And that's what this whole thing comes down to right now. And they're trying their best to get my channel taken down and out of the way. I want you to ask yourself, why do they want my channel down and out of the way? And why are they pushing this rat guy so much? And people might say, oh, more drama. When you're dealing with gangsters, ex-gangsters and rats and shit, it's a lot of drama. There's no doubt about that. It's like, am I going to take this? Am I just going to let them kick the shit out of me, lose all my subs and not fight back? That's not who I am. It doesn't matter if I wind up with one sub. I'm going to disclose things here. I'm going to wait for more people to get here, and I'm going to disclose some information that nobody has. And when you have this information, you understand. Just Gotti, drama? Yes, it is drama. Any station you go to is drama. That's what this is all about, right? That's why you're here. If we didn't have drama, would you even be here? So let's see. I've been attacked by a white supremacist that is being used. I've been called a child molester, a rapist, had pages put up on Instagram. I have had people that tell me they're my friends, lie to me, and they betray me. I have had people from other stations, other channels, do whatever they can to get my channel out of the way. And my channel was growing fast. And the last couple of days, this whole thing with mob rats, this was all planned, people. This is what it is. Everybody thinks he's cute. He's this cute little radical guy that tells jokes. He's not this cute little radical guy that tells jokes. He's a fake. And he's been put here by a certain person to control the whole entire narrative. I researched this shit and found it all out. And you guys are going to be shocked and disappointed that you're being used like this, because you're being used. And there's so many lies being told by both sides. The Gottis are no better whatsoever than are the Alites. They're not. You might say, oh, John Gotti, he was the man, you know, he died back in he died like a man in his prison cell and everything. Sure, that's John Gotti. That's not the people around him now. These people slice my throat like it's nothing, because all they're interested in is their narrative. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you all about this woman that's with mob rats and who she is. And I'm going to bring somebody in that knows her real well, because she attacks him all the time because he basically dumped her. I'm going to bring in Jimmy Alite. That's who my guest is today. And then I'm going to tell you about what is being planned right now in the next couple of days, something very big that's about to come out. Nobody knows it, but I'm going to let you know. So that is what you have right now. You have Jimmy Alite coming on the show, and then I'm also going to tell you about everything else. And I'm not changing sides. I'm bringing on a person that knows this woman who's come out of no place, and we're going to discuss who this woman is. So I'm going to bring Jimmy Alite forward. Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Okay. Well, you know, and I'm bringing you up because I want people to understand this has nothing to do with what side I'm on. This has to do with this woman right now who's out there attacking people. So can you tell us something about this woman, how you met her?
Yeah. So I met her about, I want to say, probably over a year ago. It's hard to remember everyone, but it's probably over a year ago, on Facebook. And we started conversating through Facebook Messenger, I guess. And one thing led to another, and apparently she had an imaginary love affair with me that I wasn't really aware of. And when I stopped talking to her, she went a little crazy. And then she called me back again, we reestablished connection. I don't remember how. I'd be lying if I said how we reestablished. I don't remember. But I believe she was reaching out to me in different ways. She does use aliases, a lot of different aliases. She goes to her friends' accounts and they use aliases. They're apparently social activists, whatever that means. They don't seem to have a side. They seem to just be looking for chaos for chaos reasons. I think that they're looking for drama just because they have nothing else in their lives. So they need drama of some sort or another. And the mafia seems to be some sort of drama they like to get involved in. And it looks like they're trying to create some kind of a negative wave just to get themselves recognized to some extent. Even though they hide in the shadows at the same time, they don't put their real pictures on, they don't put their real names on or their real identity. So they're really kind of rats hiding in a hole, trying to get their 3 minutes of fame. And notice I don't say 15 minutes, 3 minutes of fame.
And why do you
knocking others and lying about others?
And why do you think Mob Rat is working with her?
Mob Rat is a low-life organization. So mob rats find other mob rats or other rats, and they feel comfortable together. So mob rats finds anybody, will pay anyone, will do anything to get anyone to give the narrative that they're looking to give. So it could be her, it could be any clown on the street, it could be anybody that is willing to say what they want them to say. So mob rats goes out and seeks out people like this. And so they happen to have a hot tomato on their hand, and they grabbed onto it as soon as they got wind of it. That someone was looking to spew negative stuff, either about myself, my brother, or whoever. Now, I want to say one thing. We're all individuals. I'm an individual. My brother's an individual. John Gotti Jr. is an individual. His sister Angel's an individual. Chris Kasparosa is an individual. John Gotti Sr. is an individual. So we're all individuals. So let's just start from that premise. But we can break them down we can break it down a little bit, and we can also categorize people together. So we can do it both ways.
Jimmy, can you do me one favor? Your color's dark. Can you just put your face up to the camera a little bit? You can sit back afterwards, but I want people to see it is who you say you are.
Yeah.
Because people are saying why they can't see you.
Can you see me now?
You just got bad color in there, dude.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Okay, this is Jimmy Alite, and this is
that a little better?
Yeah, well, not really, but you know what? We're cool. Okay.
All right.
So basically, just keep talking about Mob Rat, exactly what his whole thing is, and basically why he's coming in here. Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Why he's
from what I understand, Chris Kasparosa, who is John's flunky, has been writing for John for years, and I believe Angel Gotti, John's sister. Here's the thing about John. I would shake hands with John in a second, John Gotti Jr., and just tell him, listen, bygones be bygones. Let's move ahead. 10 years ago, I did that, or 8 years ago, whatever the case, whenever we had the falling out. But John and these guys, they don't know how to make up. They don't know how to let go of things. And really, this is supposed to be about mob and gangsters and street guys. It's not supposed to be about family members. It's not supposed to be personal. And they make this, not only do they drag this out into a childish show, but they also talk about personal family members, which is a no-no. And so what John Gotti Jr. has done is he's done completely the opposite of who his father is supposed to be, quote unquote, who his image is. Because John Gotti is a rat. Listen, he ratted and my brother ratted. They both ratted, right? One is not better than the other one in terms of ratting, right? They both have 302s. They both went and they talked. So if someone's trying to convince somebody else that they're not a rat because someone else is a rat, that's just a lot of bullshit. So let's just get that one straight. But John Gotti continues to rat because he rats through Chris Kasparosa, he rats through his sister, and the guy tapes phone calls, tapes conversations that actually put his father in jail for the rest of his life, and he died there because of the tapes. You might say because of Sammy also, but those tapes were very incriminating. So John Gotti goes out and does things that his father's probably rolling around in the grave right now. I mean, if he can get out right now, he'd probably kill his own son.
Yeah. Okay.
He also uses his sister. I don't know who else uses their sister to get messages out and attack other people's families. And he uses another person, Chris Kasparosa, for more or less is a little girl. So, I mean, this is what you got. And when is enough enough? And to what end? Like, Lee, what are you looking to accomplish here? How are you helping the world? What are you trying to do by doing these kind of things? Where are you going? Where's your bottom line? Like, what are you trying to gain from this thing? And I don't see any gain for anyone.
And just so you know, here's what happened so people understand. I had a guest on last week, and that guest, we were talking about Sammy Gravano killing a boy. And that guest said, well, let's remember that John Gotti killed the father, killed the man that ran over his son. And that night, she was supposed to come on my show. And then she called me and she was all angry saying, I'm not coming on your fucking show because they just insulted my father. So I said to her, your father was the head of the Gambino family. What do you expect?
Right.
And so she basically, and that day she stopped talking to me, totally turned on me because one of my guests brought up the fact that the gentleman that killed her The gentleman that killed her brother disappeared and was probably murdered. And she did
Right.
not want to hear that. So it was like a total attack on me. And then all of a sudden I had this issue going on with mob rats, this Russian woman or Australian woman coming out of no place.
No, she's actually Serbian. She's from Romania. Like I said, she's crazy about me. I have hundreds of text messages of her telling me, professing her love to me. She's a scorned woman. There was nothing really there from my side. I kind of felt bad for her, to be honest with you. She has a lot of problems. I can get into all of her issues, but I'd rather not. I will say that she did run a brothel in Austria. She is from Romania.
So this woman attacking me now is basically a madam that ran a brothel.
Right, right. She also played dominatrix.
And she
also was a heroin addict. For many years, she was a heroin addict. So she got help. She still does drugs. I don't know if she does. I don't think she does heroin. But she's got a lot of very serious mental issues. I was actually helping her out. Her romantic interest in me, what can I say? And I knew that she was going to do this when I stopped talking to her, but I didn't expect it to go this far. So
let me ask you a question. Why do you think she came forward and attacked me in the video and I've never said nothing to her? And all of a sudden she's with mob rats, same show.
That's right.
And she attacks me and she says on her, you're messing with activists. Why do you think she said that to me?
I think that she said that for obvious reasons. She's looking for some kind of a voice. She's looking for something to do with her life. She's looking for a voice. And mob rats made a deal with her. Mob rats said, you say things about Jimmy Alite and this and that, and we'll let you say other things, or we want you to say certain things. And they made a deal. So you're making a deal with the devil, basically. And so she's going to do whatever she has to do to get even with me. And they're going to do whatever they have to do to get even with you or whatever. And so, you could take it from there. And they're going to, listen, they're going to spew whatever their narrative is. That's what they're going to try to lie about. Whether it's the truth or not is not relevant. The truth does not count here. What counts is getting out a narrative. And that's what they're doing.
Like we have this Alfred saying, breaking fake news. I'm presenting stuff to you that is accurate. I'm going to present something else to you also. There's a lawsuit coming out. And it's coming out by two people are suing each other, from what I understand. One is Angel Gotti is suing for defamation of character, Jean Barillo, and also she is suing Johnny Alite. And then from what I understand, Jean Barillo is suing her for making up the false accusation that he was raped in prison and coming out. So you have two people here right now that are suing each other for defamation of character.
Right.
And, this is what we're putting up with, people. You can come in here and make fun of me, catch up. Lee's a doxer. You know what? I don't give a shit what you have to say. I'm here telling the truth. So now you're going to have the Gotti people come in and turn on me too. But, last week, everybody here was telling me I was a Gotti person. And now I'm not a Gotti person. Is that how it works? I'm not on either side. Okay.
Yeah, I think that if you don't feel the Gotti's narrative, they're going to turn on you. There's no question about that. What they want are puppets, and they want to pull the strings. And once you decide to be honest, be truthful, not go with the narrative that they're trying to set out, they're going to turn on you in a heartbeat. They've done this to many people. You're not the first. You're not going to be the last. So what they'll do is they'll put a carrot out there, and they'll entice you with that carrot as long as they can. And if you don't obey, they're going to turn on you. And they don't care if it's the truth or not. Let's get that straight. The truth is not important here. The truth is just an abstract thing that's way, way, way in the back. So they're not working from the truth. They're working from a narrative. But the question is, again, we have to go back to what is the motivating factor, which is a very good question that you came up with. And, you know, for me, the motivating factor for them is there is no real one motivating factor. I think they're so caught up in this and they have this drama of life that they need this drama to keep them going. And I know that sounds crazy to you, but they don't do anything else. They sit around spending all kinds of money on doing this all day long, all night long. You tell me, at the end of the day, what would someone's motive be to do this consistently for at least 10 years, day and night, and spending all kinds of money on research and phony witnesses? And I mean, what can the motive be? Get a life. Get a life and do something constructive. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and people are asking me why Cane Shade's not here. Cane Shade gets his son on the weekends. There's no issues with me and Cane Shade, so I'll just let you know that. Bill Jordan, wow, that's Jimmy Cheeks. They like to call you Jimmy Cheeks, but Jimmy, will you explain to them why you had the surgery done on your cheeks?
Yeah,
this Russian woman,
all these
Russian
guys,
women made it.
all these guys are tough guys on the internet. You can meet me anytime in a boxing ring in a classy situation. I got into more fights in 1 week than they got in their whole life. So I've had many accidents, and I had cheek surgery a long time ago. And unfortunately, they weren't done right. I had them in and out a couple of times, which left some scar tissue, which I'm not happy about. But again, that's baby shit. This is something I told the girl at one point. So apparently she's trying to bring this out and make this into a big issue. But I have no issues with anything. This is not this again, childish stuff. Childish stuff.
And I'm going to answer this question. So Angel and Jimmy C are friends. Jimmy C has his own thing going on. Okay. Jimmy C, I don't think really gives a shit about any of this. So if anybody's trying to get me to say something negative, I'm not gonna. He just has his own thing and he just wants to be left the fuck alone by all sides. That's the feeling I get. And he's smart for doing that. Okay,
yeah, I mean, I think I feel the same way. I mean, at the end of the day, this shit doesn't stop. And I'm like, again, for what? I mean, I whatever problems I had with the Gottis, I made up with them. Unfortunately, this is the way the Gottis think. When you make up with them, because you have a good heart, you don't hold grudges, you're good. You know, one of the things about being godly is forgiving people. And I've learned to forgive a lot of people in my life. And that doesn't mean I'm a lapdog. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect, far from perfect. But I learned how to forgive people. I've stuck out my hand. Unfortunately, when you stick out your hand to the Gottis, they think you either want something from them or you're afraid of them. Well, I haven't been afraid of anyone since I was about, 16 or 14. And I need nothing from the Gottis. So they don't know what real friendship is. They don't know how to make up. They don't know how to move ahead in their lives.
Well, and so, Angel Gotti just sent me 2 text messages. Jimmy Alite on your show, Lee, and wow, have you lost your mind? That's
Angel Gotti she's a pitiful figure. I mean, I can go into Angel Gotti's life and destroy her and the rest of the Gotti family like they go after mine. I could destroy their family. I have so much information on the Gotti family, including Angel. Angel just lost her ex-husband. I sent her a condolence letter. She never thanked me for the condolence letter, but she's more interested in going after my brother and doing silly shit like this than mourning for her ex-husband, who she has kids and grandkids with. So this is the mentality of this, and I use this word lightly, lady. This is the mentality that you have going on. She just lost her ex-husband, Louis Albano. Not too long ago, he had a massive heart attack out of nowhere, so it's unexpected. And instead of this lady taking the time back and reevaluating her life and seeing what's positive that she could do in her life and coming together with the family, this is the shit she wants to spew out there all the time. You tell me that's normal, because I don't see that as being normal. I'm not even coming close to what I can say about these people. I have a list of things about these people that I know that will destroy them, from John Gotti Sr. to his wife, to Junior, to his kids, to his brother-in-laws, to his uncles, to her side. But this is not where I want to go, and I won't go there yet. I hope I never have to go there. But this is what they want. Do they want this kind of silly battle? I mean, do they want to go? Do they want to tell lies? Because I could tell truths. And I'll tell you what, I've done polygraphs before. I would challenge any of them to do a polygraph against me anytime, live, for any amount of money they'd like to do it. In fact, if they want, because I know they'll never do a polygraph, you won't get Chris, you won't get John, you won't get any, you'll get none of them to do a polygraph against me. I'll guarantee you that. You won't get them. And that's an offer you can do on your show live, and you can pick the polygrapher. But beyond that, I'll invite them to debate me anytime about anything. And I guarantee you they won't come to the debate either.
And let me just say something. I know people in here are going to be angry about what's going on right now. But you know what? It's not, if you're angry at me, remember this. What would you do if someone attacked your brother who's no longer on this earth? And they're using your brother to get at you? What would you do if people call you a pedophile? And if they do pages calling you pedophile and stuff? What would you do? You're not going to take no shit. I hope you're not gonna.
Well, they've been doing that shit to my brother. They've been doing that shit to a lot of people. You're not the first. You won't be the last. And for all I know, they might have done it about me. I don't know. But, you know, it seems like this is their MO. They just lie about anything, throw shit at the wall, and see what sticks. I'm not really angry. It might sound like I'm angry. I'm disappointed that people have to behave this way. I'm disappointed that people can't just, if you're going to talk about the mafia or street life or whatever you want to talk about it. Keep it real as much as you can, but keep it subjugated to that topic. Stop looking for other topics. Stop looking to go off and stop going after individuals that have nothing to do with the life, the kids, the family, the parents. This is, again, this is not how dignified people act.
And you got people like this. Lee, you have no evidence. Right now, I presented a few things to you. If you do not want to see this evidence, that means either you work for one of the other sides or you just don't give a hoot. So that's all I can tell you.
Well, I can present evidence. I have evidence that I can present against the Gotti clan. That's something that I won't do right now. Do I have evidence? Yeah, believe me, I have a lot of evidence. And I could say a lot of things. I'm backing off from saying anything personal. I'm being very general right now when I make these comments. You can notice I'm generalizing everything. I haven't made any personal accusations that are but what I'm trying to say is I don't want to go down that road. At the same time, there's got to be an end to this shit.
It's been going on for years. It's been going on for years. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's got to stop. And like I said, my information, what I'm trying to do, and I'm doing my own podcast coming up. I'm being sponsored by a company to do a podcast, and it's going to be all about God and spirit and overcoming incredible obstacles and, you know, real life miracles that'll, you know, make the hairs on your neck, you know, crawl. So these are going to be things that I want to talk about. This kind of stuff. I mean, we can say how we grew from this level to this level and how we graduated in life, but to go backwards and go into the slander and name calling and lies, and, you know, this is not a place that I personally want to be.
And what is going to happen tomorrow or today when our Australian lady sees this along with her partner, the mob rat?
Well, you know, they're gonna want to take revenge, and at the end of the day, their revenge is going to be the same thing. It's going to be a lot of nonsense, the same stuff over and over. You're going to hear the same stuff. There's nothing new to say. So they'll just make up things, and maybe they'll make up something different. It's all going to be childish nonsense stuff. It's all going to be like,
you know,
here's the thing, Lee.
Yeah.
For me to respond to everyone that says something like this, to every time Chris or they bring a rat on, you know, someone they fake that's a scorn lover or a scorn wannabe lover, or I can't answer all the times that these people, because this is what they do this is all they do day and night. And for me to come out and answer for my brother or answer for myself or answer for somebody else, it's a 24/7 job that these guys have. This is what they do 24/7. They don't have a life. So you know, you come out once in a while, and I hope people are smart enough to realize, because sometimes, a lot of times, I don't answer these things. It's not because they're true. It's not because I'm hiding. It's because who's got the fucking time and the energy to go out and constantly defend yourself? I don't feel like I have a need to defend myself, but once in a while I'll come out and I'll say something just because I feel like it's the right timing to say something.
And I just want to say one thing. The good thing about me is I got the time, I got the energy. And, you know, I understand what you're saying. But, you know, I've been through this shit already with one billionaire. These people are nothing compared to him. And for them to do what they're doing, I mean, for her to show her face, I treated that woman with respect. And for her to get mad at me because she didn't like what someone in my chat room said is so childish.
It's very childish.
I mean,
Everyone that you got together, you got to remember, the crew that's getting together are all like-minded. So like-minded people think alike, act alike, and will do the same. So they found themselves a nice little niche, but they are seeking out people that are like-minded. So what I could say to them is, if you like, I'd be more than happy to face any of you guys in the John Gotti Jr., Chris Casparosa, you're 6'3", Johnny Jr. I have to have a host of very serious illnesses. I'll meet any of them in a ring anytime. And if we want to do this baby stuff, why don't we do it for charity? We'll do it in the ring. We'll take the money and we'll give it to a charity. And anytime they want, just give me the time and date, and we'll make a date and we'll go and we'll handle it that way. This way, at least we go out like men.
okay, Angel says, you know nothing about my life.
I do. I know everything about her life, and Angel doesn't want me to get going. She doesn't want me to get started. Unfortunately, I do know so much about her life. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Catch me. It says, Lee, you threatened to dox MRE. Let me tell you something. MRE went on yesterday with some chick from Australia attacking me on his show yesterday morning after he told me, after our show was over, he said everything was done. And then he went out to get publicity yesterday morning. He attacked my station. So catch you. Fuck you. Okay.
Let me tell you one other thing. This girl, by the way, that's harassing me, she had a guy call me when I dumped her one time and threatened me over the phone. Of course, I backed him down real quick when I invited him over, but threatened me over the phone because I wouldn't talk to her. She told him that I wouldn't leave her alone. Actually, it was the other way around. I wouldn't talk to her. So, but he called me up, tried to threaten me. And of course, that's not a good idea to threaten me for anybody, because I'm not going to call you on your threat. But so this girl's a little, you know, whacked out. She goes, I didn't have him do that. I go, I stopped talking to you. You're calling a guy to make me talk to you? Are you out of your mind? You're calling a guy and have a guy call me because you want me to talk to you. I mean, the craziest fucking thing in the world, but she did that. And the guy did call me, and I did invite the guy to, you know, and obviously the guy liked me.
And just so for people know, she admitted that she liked you. She
didn't like me. She loved me.
Yeah, and she admitted it. And so she admitted it, and she admitted that you rejected her. So she can't say that this is not true. She admitted it. If you go back and look at any of the Rat shows where she showed up.
Listen, she's a hot-looking girl. She's a hot-looking girl. She's got a quality about her that could be really nice, if she wants to be. You know, she's not I don't want to consider anybody a horrible person. I don't consider John Gotti Jr. a horrible person. I find good qualities in him. I find good qualities in Angel. I find good qualities in Chris Casparosa. I find good qualities in everybody. Everyone's got good and bad. The problem is when the bad overtakes the good to such an extent that you can't see clearly anymore. So these people are not the devil. They're not. They might act like the devil sometimes, but they're not the devils. So let me get that clear. And this girl, okay, who I'm keeping her name out of it for some reason. She's giving me different names, but I know her real name. She's not the devil either. She's scorned. She's looking to capitalize, and she's looking to spew lies about me. And she's looking at, it's so easy to take half truths, Lee, and then make them into real lies. It's very easy to do that. It's very easy for you to take part of this conversation and splice it up the way you want and say, hey, Jimmy Alite said this or said it like that. Or so this is not rocket science. I was a vice president stockbroker for the boiler room, for the infamous boiler room. So I know all the games and how people lie. And at one time, I did take a lot of money from people using my own techniques, and I was very good at it. But you could take these communication skills and you can help people with them, or you can take them like a gun and you can hurt people with them. But I'm very aware of people use and manipulate other people and how they use lies and how they use semi-truths and half-truths, and they spin them. So this is nothing new to me.
Okay, I'm going to answer this. Miss Campion, Angel defends her father as she should. I agree with you. But what happens when she portrays people like me that respects her family and stuff, and she throws me out like a dog, and then she attacks me because someone comes into my room and says and talks about the guy that her father killed for killing the son? So she held that against me, and she just like totally like, that's it. I'm not talking to you because you had someone in your room. It's like she was trying to control me for what I say and everything.
And I do agree that Angel is going to defend. Listen, I don't have anything wrong with anybody defending their family. If Angel wants to defend her father, of course. I mean, her father could have been the worst guy in the world or the best guy in the world. It doesn't make a difference. She's going to defend her father. And yes, I respect that you defend people that you love. That said, if you're going to be out there in the public and you're going to spew lies about other people and you're going to say certain things, and someone brings up a truth about one of your family members, you can't go crazy because that's part of the game. Now, if it's a lie, it's one thing. Now, if she wants to defend that, she could defend it. Doesn't mean she's right, but she's got the, I mean, we're in a free country. Hopefully we stay, we have the freedom of press. We have the freedom of the First Amendment, although it's getting rotted away in this country. With that said, she's got the freedom to say what she wants. It's unfortunate that people will misguide people with lies. That's the only problem I have. But everyone's got the right to say anything they want.
Okay. Funny man, you said that you threatened to dox mob rats. In my view, that's a rat move. You don't know what a rat move is. Mob rat had some chick from Australia get on and start attacking my family. So I'm supposed to excuse that and let mob rat just fuck me over and go after me and destroy my station and stuff. Is that what I'm supposed to do, funny man? It's not too funny. Okay. And let me tell you, and this is what I will say to that woman that came on and said that. You pick the fight. Okay, now you pick the fight. You make your next move. I got plenty of stuff left as my ammo. So I'll make my move after you guys make your move. And that goes for you too, Mob Rat. Like I said, this ain't about the viewers. This ain't about, if this was about the viewers, I'd be kissing everybody's ass right now. But I'm not doing it. If people don't like good, solid shows that put the facts up and you're going to dump me for that, then you can dump me. There's nothing I could do.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I think you got to be true to yourself, Lee. I think I have to be true to myself. I think we all have to do things that we believe in our hearts are the right thing to do. And we got to try to help ourselves and help the others as much as, help other people as much as we can while we entertain them. So as far as I'm concerned, I can let everything go from this point on with the Gottis, with this girl from Austria. I don't hold any hard feelings. I don't hold hard feelings. What I wish they would do, though, is move on so that we don't have to have this conversation over and over and over again. That's where I sit. That's where I stand.
And I'm going to put this on. Just to be fair, what about your brother Johnny told on his brother Jimmy over 250 other people? Lee, stick with this is the facts. I'm putting up what you said. I'm giving Jimmy an answer. Johnny did rat on people. There's no question about that. But we know that. I mean, are we going to? We could stay on that subject and we can belabor it for another 10 years. There's been a lot of people in the mafia and outside of the mafia that have either ratted, dry snitched, they're street snitches. There's more people than you can count. Trust me. There's tons of people.
Why they ratted, when they ratted, how they ratted, that's another story we can get into another time. But if you say, Jimmy, is my brother a rat? Yes, my brother did rat. So there's nothing to, there's nothing to say. Yes, he did.
So, Richard, is that a direct enough answer? I don't know if you can get a more direct answer. You said that I'm not sticking to the facts. I put that up there. I hope that's a direct answer for you, brother. Okay, Varsity Athlete, can we get to the bottom of? No, this is a show. We're not going to talk about murder on this show. Okay.
Why? I mean, Johnny Gebbert was a friend of mine, and he was a friend of a lot of ours for a while. John Gotti Jr.'s, and
Yep. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm just reading this.
Yeah, people said Lee's brother out of your mouth and stories. That's it. If you bring my brother in, I'm going to come at you hard, and that includes you.
There's no reason why your brother should be brought up.
And he was 10 times a man that this chick, this whore from Australia that's over there, the prostitute, that one right there. That's what you are. You are a prostitute.
Listen, at the end of the day,
I'm not deleting nothing. JT,
you're not deleting comments. I know you're not.
Yeah, I mean, no. I don't know what you mean. You're trying to say I'm deleting comments, but
Lee,
I don't know
whatever comments come on there for me, I'd be more than happy to answer. Any questions, any comments? I have no issues with anybody with answering questions.
Yeah, Lee Cole, was John Alite ever worth $35 million? And if he is, why did he lose all his money?
I'll take that.
Okay.
So my brother made a lot of money on the streets. My brother spent money like a wild stallion.
Like all gangsters.
Pardon me?
Like all gangsters.
Like all gangsters. Yeah, spent a lot. How much did he make? Who knows? I don't know. I'd be lying to you to say, did he make 34 million or did he make this? My brother was around a lot of big businesses, had a lot of money, he had clubs, he had valet services, he had drug businesses. How much did he make? I mean, I don't know. How much did I make? I made a lot of money. It's all gone. I mean, who knows what we made and what he made? Did John exaggerate about exactly how much money he made? Maybe a little bit. Maybe everyone exaggerates a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he underestimated. Who knows? But he made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize about that life. There's a lot of money made. There's a lot of money spent, and most of these guys
like crazy.
And most of them end up broke because they don't come up.
You go through $100,000 in a night like nothing.
And why? Because the IRS is going to come after your money.
Right.
It's hard.
Exactly.
It's hard for you to hold on to your money and keep it from the IRS, especially nowadays. Oh, Jimmy, your brother wasn't Gotti Senior hitman. It wasn't with him day and night from the early 80s and 90s. Would you know that if it's true or not?
John Gotti Sr. doesn't go to my brother directly, and I don't know the exact specifics on John Gotti Sr. I do know that John Gotti Sr. did interact with my brother. I do know that John Gotti Sr. did think my brother was an up-and-coming guy. I do know that he put my brother in the place with Bobby Borriello to watch his son, John Gotti Jr. And my brother had a lot of pressure on him. So my brother had to watch his step, because if John Gotti Jr. got out of line and something wasn't taken care of, my brother had to take the hit for it. So he was his bodyguard / best friend, or whatever you want to call it at that time. What exactly did he do for Senior? I don't know. But there was definitely interactions with him and Senior.
And here's a question
Without
from,
question.
And I'm going to be fair. Angel wants to ask you a question. Why did you reach out for John Gotti Jr. 6 years ago?
Me and my brother had a falling out. And I was trying to make, actually it was before the falling out. Take it back. John wanted to make peace, was tired of all the bullshit going on, wanted to make peace, came to me, and I became the middleman to reach out to John Gotti Jr.
Okay, because that's the big thing that said that you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did reach out. I reached out to his son.
Wouldn't your brother be pissed? I'm guessing pissed that you're here.
No, no, I'm very close to my brother. We're like best friends. I love him dearly. I have nothing but, high praise for my brother. He's got a good heart. He's a good man. He's trying his best. He's found God in his life. He doesn't always act it, either do I, but he's found God in his life and he's doing the best he can. And I love him very much. I die for him.
Mobrat says, UK says, your brother said he was with him day and night by his side. Your brother's words.
He was by whose side?
Junior.
Yeah, he was.
And that,
John Gotti used to come to my house when I was stockbrokering. John Gotti used to come to my house and sleep over all the time. That's when we were about 26, 27, 28, 29. He would come over to my house and sleep. Me, him, and my brother.
And why do you think it's so important for the Gottis to say, no, this didn't happen, that your brother was barely friends with
it's just
John
nonsense.
Jr.?
I mean, he stood up for my brother when my brother got married. We went to the Justice of the Peace. Gotti's trying to separate himself from my brother because they think that my brother has too much information. They don't want that information to appear to be real. So the more they put him on the side, the more they pretend like that he doesn't have any information against them.
And why do you think your brother was such a bad witness on the stand against Junior?
I think my brother was showboating a little bit.
And it backfired on him.
Yeah, I think my brother was. I think that what happened was the narrative on that. I think the FBI, and I also think that the prosecutor fucked up the case a little bit. I think that my brother was a good witness, a very good witness, until he started showboating. And here's what he did, I believe. He, instead of showing the narrative that the orders came down, he was kind of going against that and saying that I was the boss over John Jr. And so there was the conflict right there. Like, well, if you're taking orders, how can you also be the boss? So I understand my brother. I understand his personality. He's definitely got a very strong personality. He definitely wants to be the leader in charge. He definitely was. He had aspects of him that was definitely in charge of Junior. But at the end of the day, Junior was higher on the totem pole because he was both Italian and he was John Gotti Sr.'s son.
And this one says, Rusty says, why is your brother selling baseball bat yet he's trying to sway the youth from the life?
Why? What's wrong with selling baseball bats? My brother played baseball at college.
Yeah, but the reality is he also said that he liked to bat people. And that,
I know, but that's back in the day. We're not communists, right? At the old mafia line, we're not communists. He's selling bats, putting his name on. He doesn't expect anything to happen. Those are memorabilia. They're bats basically to make an income. And John played for the University of Tampa, Florida. He was a very good athlete. Not as good as me, but he was very good.
And this person says, Lee, the show is good listening to both. Yeah, I'm not. And I told this to be fair, I told Jimmy before he came in that I'm not taking sides. And Jimmy,
Lee, did I tell you I don't want you to?
Yes, you had enough guts to come in here. So this is what we're supposed to be about. We're not supposed to be taking sides. We're supposed to be finding out what the actual story is. And then on top of that, you have people in here that already have their mind made up because people twisted it. So
look,
how about if you just listen?
Look, we're going to have, you're always going to have, in sales, you're going to have 2 out of 10 people or 3 out of 10 that are going to never buy. You're going to have 3 out of 10 that are going to always buy, or 2 out of 10 that are always going to buy. And the people in the middle are the people that you try to sway to your side. And all I can say is, in all honesty, I really wish the best for everyone. My brother's trying to help people. He's actively engaged in helping people right now and helping kids. He does his best. He talks to me a lot. I give him a lot of feedback. He uses it. I'm going to be doing spiritual stuff. I expect Johnny to come on my show and help out for that. So I think we should all try to move ahead.
I think what John needs to do is John needs to come forward and actually show evidence that he's helping kids. And
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he could
one of
do
the
that.
things that I say. And I'm not talking about bringing like guys from, he had those black gentlemen on a couple weeks ago, and saying that they're working, actual, proof that he has things out there for kids. There would be tax reports. There would be, things in his name. And this is what they say that they would like to see. So I would say, if you talk to John, that would be good for him to show that. That's what I would.
Yeah, here's the problem. Lee. I think what the question is, and what you're asking is good. And I think that's not a problem. The problem is, are we going to constantly chase our tail? In other words, is someone always going to come up with a new thing for John to like jump through hoops to prove things to them? I mean,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I
understand that, but that's a big thing to show.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. If he showed it, he never has to show it again.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you.
And if people ask after that,
we could do that.
And if people asked, he could say, "Look, I already showed it," because that's
right.
Because that's one of the main arguments.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one of the big arguments, without a doubt.
Yeah,
that's why the chief is asking that question. And
no, that's a fair question.
And he's a pretty logical guy.
We'll get to. Yeah, no, we'll get to that. What I think John needs to do is come out more openly and discuss this and show things. And John will. I'm sure he will. I can't show it. I'm not involved to that degree with my brother, but I'm sure I'll talk to my brother about it. And if it stays at something simple and direct like this, I think that John can do that. I think if we start asking unreasonable requests, you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Then it gets to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, prove this, prove that, prove this. This has been going on for too many years. But I think that that's a fair question. And I think John can answer that.
And JC Cali got jokes. I donated to the Sally Struthers Food Fund. That is so cold, man.
I mean,
that's just making fun of Sally Struthers.
Yeah, I know.
That's a
yeah.
Okay, yeah. At least Jimmy.
I mean, I remember when she was thin. She was thin at one time.
It says at least Jimmy is more lateral in his thinking and conversation and mindset. So he appreciates the answer you just gave. And, this is the thing. I think that we have to eliminate things that people use against each other because everybody's trying to make everybody look bad in this.
Yeah, I don't get the point of it. Like I said, I really could forgive. I'm not just spewing words out. If they wanted, I'll put my hand out first for John Gotti Jr., for Chris, for Angel. Here's my hand right now.
And here's a question from Angel. Tell us about a polygraph you took against your brother.
Yeah, it wasn't against my brother. I took a polygraph and I got +3s on it. Does she want to recall the questions?
Yeah, I guess she's trying to say it was against your brother.
No, one was that I go down in 1991, and I think the year was 91. I'm not quite sure. And see John. So at the time of 1991, there was threats against my brother that I heard, that he was ratting, that he was selling heroin or cocaine or something like that. And basically there was going to be a contract out on it. So at that time, his father, John's father, was alive, and he was shot pulling from prison. So of course that's my brother. I love him. So I went down to the club on 101st Avenue unannounced to talk to John about that. And the polygraph was, did I actually do that? And yes, I did. And did me and John meet? And did we do a walk and talk? Yes, we did. And so I don't know, that was one of the polygraphs I took. I don't remember the other polygraph. But that's why I say, if anyone has anything they want to discuss with me, let's polygraph, because we all know that I always tell the truth. So if we have something about what I'm saying is that's not true, I'll be polygraphing against anybody that they would like to polygraph against.
I like this question. How does Lee know all these rats? Jimmy Clandra, now John Alite's brother. Something is fishy going on here.
John Alite's brother's not a rat, first of all.
Which there's no evidence.
John, what did I have a rat on? Funny man. I mean, tell me what I have a ratted on.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you're going with that. I'm my own person, first of all.
Boy, you hit a nerve there, funny man. So he's right, though. There's no evidence that he's a rat. So
Rat
you're
on
talking-
what? Who did I rat on?
And-
I lost my license as a stockbroker. They ratted on me. I didn't say one fucking word, or I'd be a multimillionaire as a stockbroker.
Or maybe he's talking that you ratted on the Australian woman, the Austria woman.
Not a rat.
No, I'm talking, but she's a hooker and a madam, and she didn't want nobody to know. And
Not
you
a
told
rat.
people. Yeah.
She was a legal madam. It's not a rat. She's lying about me. I'm simply
Exactly.
stating the facts.
Okay.
If that's a rat, then I don't know what this guy's got.
Funny man. Personally, ask a good question. Don't ask a question where you're already got the answer in your head.
He doesn't have an answer because Jimmy Alite's not a rat, never has been. So I mean, it's a stupid question based on a falsehood.
Okay, it says, Jimmy, how much has your brother paid you, or what you're offered you to do this? This is just an obvious that your brother is there with him. Like Jimmy has come on here on his own. Yeah,
That's a joke too.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, I guess, is this person working on the boardwalk as a mind reader or something? I mean, because I got to tell you something. How would they know that? Johnny's not even close to be a rat. In fact, I was going to do an interview on Johnny's show today. I turned Johnny down and I did this show. So,
yes, and it wasn't easy.
And I'm doing my own show. There's nothing to do with Johnny.
And I had to do some researching of emails to find this gentleman. So you could say whatever you want. He's in New Jersey. Am I correct? Or in that area? Your phone number?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Jersey. Johnny's in Brooklyn. Now.
Okay.
Film. Listen, I could be on Johnny's show anytime I want. I was on his show twice in this whole time. 2 times. I could be on his show anytime I want. So why not?
Here's an interesting question. Did John Alite take steroids, and did it cause his heart issues?
No. I mean, here, look at my muscle. I never took a steroid in my life, and I can't even work out. So, no, we have good genes.
Okay.
I don't even work out.
Okay. Angel wants to ask this question. This is a famous question of hers. That your brother was chased by John Jr.
So there was a time in 91, 92, 90, when there was, John walked away from them. There was a mutual fight going on. Now, how do you want to call that? You want to call it chased from one angle or left from another angle? I don't know. It depends on which perspective you look at. So after Johnny left, John Gotti had to save face and say, I chased him, because Johnny decided to leave him. So it depends on how you want to look at it. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
John Alite walked away from Junior for his own reasons. Whatever the reasons were, you'll have to ask Johnny.
Did
Junior then had to say to save face, he chased him.
Did John Jr. smack him?
Never. No way would my brother ever take that from anybody, nor would I. Never.
Because that's the story.
No, never.
You say that you're a stockbroker. You were involved in the pump and dump scheme for the mob.
No, not for the mob, but I was involved in the pump and dump. Yes.
Yeah, and I actually know someone that was involved with the mob. That was
yeah. There were guys. Listen,
remember Lehman Brothers? Remember when Lehman Brothers went under?
Yeah.
And Lehman Brothers had a lot of mafia stuff going on in it.
Yeah, they had a lot of. They had their own market. They're making their own market in a lot of the stocks. They all did.
And that's why Lehman
was
Brothers
I involved in it? Yes.
Yeah.
Am I proud about it now? No. Would I do it again? No.
But you know, if you're going to go after, they're doing it right now. They're flooding the market and making the market look inflated. So there's a bunch of gangsters over there right now with suits.
They're all gangsters on Wall Street.
Sure
Whatever kind of gangster I was, it was small compared to the guys like Bernanke and everyone on top and all these top brokerage firms and the Arthur Anderson back in the day and all these accounting firms. They make us look like peanuts.
Here's good. Why did Gotti Jr. let Alite work in Tampa if he was chased?
It's a good question.
Okay. That's a good answer. So, okay. The chief says, Jimmy, why did John ask you to mediate with the Gotti family, and what was their response?
John didn't ask me, actually. I went on my own. John didn't even know I went down till after I came back. So, and John's response was he was a gentleman, John Gotti Jr. Me and John Gotti Jr. got along very good. when I was younger. I still like John. I still don't have any, you know, there's things about his personality and what he's doing that I don't like, but I don't dislike him as a person. I see some other aspects of John Gotti Jr. that I like. His response was very good. We sat, we talked. He said that, you know, my brother would have to get killed if he was doing those things. And I said, well, you might as well kill me now if you think he's doing it, because he's not. And John smiled at me, and we left, we hugged, we kissed on the cheek, and it was a good meeting. And John couldn't have been more of a gentleman to me, and I was a gentleman to him.
It's hard that you claim that he is helping the youth, but you can't say specifically how.
Because I'm not up Johnny's ass. I got my own life. You know, people think that me and Johnny are connected by the hip. He's my brother. I love him. But he does his thing, I do my thing. Sometimes we come together and do things together. But we both have our own lives. I'm not part of the big story in the mafia. I never wanted to be in the mafia. That wasn't my character. I was a tough, strong boxer, fighter, but I'm not a guy that wants to go out and kill somebody for money.
And I like to say one thing. The fact that you have Jimmy Alite here answering questions, I would challenge any of you to find another show that would do that. If you're going to insult me and stuff, just say to yourself, why is Jimmy Alite here? Why is he answering questions? Why did I tell you about the lawsuit that Angel Gotti has? And why did I tell you about Gene Barillo's counter? I mean, ask yourself, no one else is going to present that stuff to you, except maybe the only other guy I trust would be Ball Sicilian. After that, nothing, nobody. You both live in the same house. You don't know one kid's charity. Someone thinks that you live in the same house with John.
I do.
Okay,
I do. So Johnny does a lot of things, but I don't watch him. I got my own life. In other words, we have we live in the same house. I mean, I could deny everything, but I'm not. I'm being very honest and straightforward with everybody. So the question keeps coming up. So my answer is this: we live in the same house. It's 2 separate apartments, but we're an open door policy. So I can go upstairs, he come downstairs. We live together. There's no secrets. That said, I am not on. Johnny has 1 million phone calls. I have 1 million phone calls. We have same friends. We have different friends. I don't follow what Johnny does to that extent. Like I said, I've only been on 2 of his shows. And how many shows has he done? He's done hundreds of shows.
And so, Jimmy, talk about the radio show you were bashing your brother.
There's been a couple of shows that I did, 1 or 2, where I said some things about my brother, and I said some things about John Gotti Jr. I said things about both of them. Were they true? Yeah, some of the things were true. Absolutely. Do I have fights with my brother? There are times where I disagree with him. 100%. Are we physical with each other sometimes? 100%. Hopefully we've outgrown that over the last few years. And, you know, but we come from a very competitive background in both sports and boxing. And we're very competitive with each other. But I think now it's more in a healthy way.
And Funny Man still is on the same. Why don't you change your question, dude? Don't you have a good question to ask instead of accusing people of things? Are you just here being a troll? Ask a good question, okay? These are really silly questions. Jimmy, does Johnny go to facilities where kids are locked up or group homes?
Well, I know he's gone to different places. I know he's friends with some police captains and chiefs where he goes and talks to kids. So I don't know if they're locked up or if they're, you know, in juvenile delinquent centers. I'm not quite sure. So it's a good question. I'm not sure on the specifics. You would have to ask Johnny about that.
Rusty Dog, he knows not one thing he does for youth, yet it's his brother's life work. Okay, Rusty Dog.
I don't know the specifics. It's the specifics. In other words, these questions could be answered very easily by Johnny.
Yeah, and what would you people do if I brought Johnny here? You'd call me a traitor So, you
No,
know,
I mean, these questions could be answered by Johnny very easily. I mean, I can't answer every question because these questions I don't know the answers to. Some of the questions I answer. I think I've been very fair and answered a lot of questions, actually.
here's a good
Where
question. Why did Johnny Alite challenge Gotti Jr. to M&A fight, but cowered out fighting Jimmy Calandra? Seems pretty weak.
I'll tell you why. Because there's no money in fighting Jimmy Calandra. John Gotti, to fight John Gotti for an MMA fight, there's a lot of money. Jimmy Calandra is like any other Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes up and says, "Oh, I want to fight you." There's no money in it. If Johnny did that, he'd have to fight every clown that wanted to. I don't think Jimmy Calandra really wanted to fight him. I don't think Jimmy Calandra really believes that. I saw Jimmy Calandra box. He can't fight. All right, so let's put it that way. I saw Calandra. There's no way he knows how to fight. I'm a boxer. I seen him hit the bag, and on a video, does not know what he's doing with his hands. So that's number one. Number two is, and you could take my word on that. You could watch me hit a bag, and you can watch Jimmy Calandra hit a bag, and you could see the difference. Number two is there's no money in it. John wants to make money. He's a capitalist. You know,
and I want to answer this question. Mob Rats, I have to say I respect Jimmy from coming on here and answering questions, but the reality is, why isn't his brother here for himself? Where is he? I like to answer that question. If I somehow, by a miracle, got a hold of John Alites and asked him to come on this show, my show would be over. You know, you guys say this, but if John Alites came in here and started talking to me, you guys would call me every name I'm having a hard enough time having Jimmy in here. Can you imagine if John was in here? Would you guys even be fair to me? Think about it.
It's a good answer.
Lee, ask what Jimmy thinks of Gotti Jr. possibly ratting.
Well, John Gotti did go in, right? I mean, it takes a lot of time to get, you know, someone to when you're going to talk with the government, it's not done.
While you're answering this, I got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Well, when someone's ratting, it takes a little while for them. It doesn't just happen overnight. They got to set it up. They have to meet with attorneys. They have to meet with prosecutors. It's about, I don't know how long the process is, but it usually takes a couple of 3 months for the whole process to get going with the lawyers and the prosecutors. So it's not like one quick moment someone comes up and says, "I want to rat," and then they quickly change their mind. What do I think John Gotti ratting? I think that John Gotti's a big boy, Junior, and he's got to take responsibility for his own actions. And I don't really have an opinion on what he did. That's up to John and John alone, what he feels about it himself. I can't say much more than that. I can't answer for somebody else's actions. I can just say that he's got to answer for his own actions.
Okay, I appreciate that. Jimmy, you said you were based in Jersey and John was in Brooklyn. Yeah, you did say that when I asked you about where you lived in the same house.
No. What I meant by that is John's doing the show.
Okay.
John's doing the show.
Okay, mind someone else's business. Damn nothing. He said he lives in Jersey and John lives in Brooklyn. Okay.
See, again, see how people jump to conclusions and they think I'm lying. And I just explained. I just said that I could be doing a show with Johnny, who happens to be doing a show in Brooklyn today. We are located in Jersey. So all you guys that want to jump all you guys that want to jump all over and say he's lying, again, you see how people jump to conclusions and come up with the wrong answers.
Alite is here taking and answering tough questions. Ask him. That's right. Jesse, you asked the guys here asking questions. I mean, what else can you want? Jimmy C does jiu-jitsu and M&A, so I know you are lying.
Jimmy C, I saw hit the boxing bag. I saw him hitting the punching bag. And if he boxes, my grandmother boxes. All right? So that's the answer. You talk to a guy that boxed.
Yes.
At a high level.
And I think that's why Jimmy C asked about having an MMA match. He probably
He
realizes.
might listen. He might be a wrestler, Jimmy. I don't know what he is, but the question was asked to me, what do I think about boxing? And I answered him. Now, you also asked why Johnny doesn't fight Jimmy. There's no money in it. It's like every other clown that would come up to Johnny and say, I want to fight you. The list would be around the corner. But
Okay,
there's
let me
no
ask you
money.
a question. Say someone came forward and said, I'll give you $100,000 toward charity if your brother fought Jimmy.
You would have to ask Johnny. I'll do it for 100,000.
Okay, here's your offer, Jimmy. We get someone to come up and put
I'll do it for
$100,000 toward
100,000.
charity. He'd come at you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something right there that's set.
Yeah.
He says, does he really think his brother slapped Gene Gotti?
Yes, I know he did because I have witnesses that were there.
And what about the fact that your brother says that he was smacked by Jimmy Clandra, but Jimmy Clandra denies it?
It's Jimmy Clandra. From the people that I talked to, Johnny's story is very accurate. Very accurate. So the people that I know that were in jail at the time, that story rings true to everybody else that I spoke with.
Okay, this is Mike says, Lee, you're right. This is awesome. You got Jimmy on. You promised you would get someone big on your show, and you didn't. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I,
Another wise ass, Mike.
Morning.
He can meet me in the ring too. I'll tell you what, I'll fight him for free.
Okay.
In fact, I'll pay him to fight me.
You know what's a funny thing though? These guys don't realize if they were in the streets of New York, they wouldn't last long.
Yeah,
especially back in the day. You know.
No.
You know, people don't even realize. You know, I grew up on Bragg Street down in Sheepshead Bay. I spent several years down there, and it's like it's a whole different type of living than if you live somewhere. I live in Texas because here it's peaceful. You know,
Who's this guy?
Mind my business. He actually asks us pretty good questions. The difference between a street fight and a guy in the ring. You might beat me in the ring, but the streets are going.
What do you think? Do you think I'm just a ring fighter? I didn't fight in the street. I fought 3-4 guys at a time in the street. I got baseball batted by 4 guys, broke my ribs, getting out of cars and everything else. Are you kidding me?
I don't think there's any doubt.
Next question. Next question.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that John Jr. was a street fighter?
No. How many fights did he get into in his life?
Do you think John Jr. in a one-on-one street fight could take your brother?
No.
Okay, that's a straight answer. Okay, Carlos, last week, wasn't John Alites responsible for the channel getting hacked? Yes. And we talked about that. A lot of things happened to me. But, you know, that has nothing to do with Jimmy being here. But Carlos, great question. And, you know, Carlos did some hard time in jail, and he really doesn't like rats. I'll be totally honest with you.
I got it. Listen, a lot of people have their own. Listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion on everything. You know, you're not entitled to making your own truth, but you're entitled to your own opinion. That's
true. And that's what this whole thing. Jimmy, does your mom make chicken tenders for your brothers? You know why he's saying that?
No. I make chicken tenders for her, actually.
You know why he's saying that? Because this guy, Mob Rats, he mocks you and your brother by going, "Oh, mommy, make me chicken tendies."
No, my mother doesn't. Listen, this kid from Mob Rats is the biggest spoiled baby in the world. So is the rest of them. We've never been spoiled by our mothers or fathers in our life. So
and just so we know, don't mention names.
The opposite.
But just don't mention names. But you do know who Mob Rats is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's leave it
with them saying it is hysterical. It's priceless.
Right. Okay. So people take that into mind. This is Mob Rats UK. Mob Rats wouldn't have enough guts to show up here, I don't think. But anyway, Jimmy is answering real questions, so John could do that. That's what everybody wants, an interview. John, we're the interviewer, ask real questions, and we get real answers. And that's true. You ask real questions, and he'll give you, and don't insult. Insult is just for guys that think they're tough, but they're not. Okay, Michael Stone's a serious dude. I like his questions, and sometimes he doesn't agree with me. Jimmy, I've always said whether it's 302s or testified, a rat is a rat is a rat. So he's
Yeah, I
basically
agree.
saying Gotti
I don't
also.
disagree. I agree 100%. I don't disagree at all with Michael on that.
Again, we got
A
a
rat
funny
is a rat, no matter
and
which way you slice it.
And Mob Rats wants to be funny. Was the tendies rationed? We needed a little laugh, so I just put that
You know
up
what?
there.
I got to tell you something. If there's ever chicken tenders, there's going to be a fight in the house for them. So they're not rationed. No.
You do know that Mob Rats will be taking this video of our interview and putting it up on his station and playing it, because Mob Rats does the same thing that the Austria woman does.
Right, right.
They play other people's stuff.
But I got to tell you
even-
something. I'm very interested in these tenders. I'm going to speak to my mother about this because she's going to have to start making tenders for us.
You know, actually, I've been thinking to myself, I'm going to make some homemade tenders as soon as
Yeah,
this is over.
I was just, you know what? They got, I don't know if you eat healthy, but Whole Foods got some real good gluten-free tenders. I'm advertising for that scumbag from Whole Foods. I shouldn't do that.
Maybe you can answer this question. Lee, why does Mob Rats sound effeminate?
Well, the word rats, right? And it's
Well, no,
sounds-
Mob Rats, the guy that, you know, who we know who it is, but
Oh,
Mob
I see
Rats,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Voice?
it's kind of feminine.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
It's
won't
called
want to pick on anyone's voice.
It's called computer technology, people. You can make
Yeah,
your
I don't
voice sound any way you want it to sound.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you think it's necessary for John to have gone in so hard on Frances? And I'm going to be honest with you, Jimmy. I
Yeah.
think that John made a major mistake when he went after Sammy and Michael at the same time. I'm just being honest, because of the fact that they're two powerhouses. Why would he want to do that?
Okay, so let me answer the question. I got a perfect answer for this question. I happen to like Michael, and I talked to Michael, except I haven't talked to Michael in the last, let's say, 6 weeks. And I was talking to Sammy via Messenger, and I made the peace between my brother, Sammy, and Michael. All right, and with that peace, Sammy came to me and wanted to do a few shows. And Sammy said, well, it's, you know, me and you. First, he wanted to do it with me and Sammy. So it was going to be me and Sammy. And he called my brother too to make sure that Johnny was okay with me and him working together, because he was friends with Johnny first. So Johnny goes, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. It's my brother, you know, whatever you guys want to do. And then Michael got involved, and it was going to be all four of us doing a show together. And then Michael and Sammy kind of slipped through the cracks, and Michael and Sammy promised me. Now, I wasn't looking for anything. I never asked for anything. I wasn't looking for anything. But Sammy told me on at least 3 or 4 occasions, at least, and he called my brother numerous times, that I really want to work with Jimmy. I can't wait to get started. We're definitely going to do something. And so Michael and Sammy, and I'm friends with Michael still, and I don't hate Sammy, but they both backed down and they lied. So that's a fact.
Okay. My issue with Sammy is I had a show and I was friends with Jimmy Calandra, and people say to me, why was I friends with a rat? But, you know, that's a mistake I made. Jimmy Calandra came and told me that he didn't want me to do a show on the person that Sammy murdered, Alan Kaiser. And it was Sammy that asked Jimmy to talk to me.
Sammy what? Say that again.
He asked Jimmy to talk to me about not doing the Alan Kaiser show. You know who Alan Kaiser is, right?
Right. Yeah, I know exactly who he is. Yeah, yeah.
So basically, I still did the show, and right after I did that show, Jimmy kind of went after me on his own show, and that's why Jimmy and I stopped talking. And
right. Well, I think that Sammy decided to go with Jimmy over me because I think he wanted to get at my brother. So, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, potential reasons why, but Sammy hasn't come clean yet with me. So,
okay. So, And you're
So they
probably
were taking pot shots at my brother. They were taking shots at my brother, either right straight out in the public, or they were doing it through other people. But they were definitely taking shots at my brother. So they kind of killed the peace.
Oh, and he let me call me Kitty. Call me Kitty says Mob Rats Exposed is honest, loyal, trustworthy guy. Everything you're not, Lee. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's one of their fake profiles, or that's one of their good friends.
Yeah, it's probably the Russian chick. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, but I do show people when they say something negative about me. I'm not going to hide it.
No, it's fine.
I want to give Mob Rats some plugs. He's obnoxious.
He is obnoxious.
And if you know who he is, you would understand it's a joke. You people that watch him, you're being pulled into a joke.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about any of the rat things. It's all a joke. That's all it is, people. I don't care if it was my mother or father. No way you're going to tell on me, and we're good. That's it. Carlos doesn't believe in snitching. He's done hard times. I mean, hard years. So, you know, that's just
listen,
Carlos.
Carlos is entitled to his opinion and live the life he wants to live.
Yeah, but he's honest about it too. You know, he doesn't bullshit.
Yeah.
He's not some little punk that comes on here insulting people. And,
right.
You know,
right.
And if we met him in the street, we'd probably say he's a stand-up guy. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Exactly. I understand. Who's
the biggest mafia fraud? There's so many. I mean, you know, I couldn't even answer that question. Do you know how many people walk around trying to pretend they were in the mafia?
Yeah.
I used to know this guy that was 5'2" we used to make fun of because he used to dress up and pretend he was in the mafia. And if you go to Brooklyn, there's a lot of guys that pretend they're in the mafia.
Yeah.
And they know nothing of the mafia. Just don't pretend you're in the Russian mafia because they'll kill you where you sit.
Or the Albanian mafia.
Or the Albanian mafia, right. I don't know.
Right.
Jimmy, I give you credit for being on the show and answering questions. Your brother testified against relatives, lifelong friends of mine, and he has some balls to go on the public spectrum. Vinny B.
Listen, we all do things. Listen, we know he testified, so we're not going to go around that question again. Going on the public spectrum, it takes balls both ways, right? It takes balls to go out there in front of people and you know what people are gunning for you. You know, when John first walked out of the house, I walked with him into the dangerous spots. So, you know, it does take balls to go out there. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but
I
don't think
they're being sarcastic. It sounds like a question that people legitimately want to know the answer to.
Yeah, I mean, it takes balls to go out there and put your ass on the line, no question about it. And Johnny did it before anybody else. Everyone else was in California and Arizona or hiding someplace. John's the only guy that came out and put himself out there and put himself right in the public view. Johnny, you know, he's the only guy that did that. Everyone followed after him. No one was out in the public like Johnny in the area, in the neighborhood. Nobody.
And you have a lot of guys doing it now. Look how many guys.
Well, after Johnny did it, you got some guys that got some balls after Johnny did. But it took Johnny to break the mold. You know, I'm just being honest every way I can now.
I always said, could you imagine when Sammy learned that, you know, Sammy was a hustler his whole life, and when he learned that he can make the money he makes now, just going on and telling stories, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know what Sammy's making. And I
do. I got in trouble for saying it. Yeah, but I do.
Yeah. I mean, I wish Sammy the best. Like I said, he did fuck me, but I still wish him the best. I don't wish anybody bad. I like Michael still, in spite of whatever, in spite of making promises and not coming through and whatever. But like I said, you can always find something good about someone to like, and it's always good to forgive people at the end of the day.
Here's a tough question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Jimmy, how many murders does your brother have?
I honestly, I don't know. I know he has some. I don't know how many people altogether. I'd be lying if I said a number to you. So I have to say I don't know. More than he should have.
Right. Okay, then you have Leo is giving Jimmy a compliment, and you for letting Jimmy on the show. Jimmy, as far as fighting you, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So they're saying that he's saying that his question was misunderstood. That
Oh,
he
I'm
didn't
a
mean
lover too,
anything.
so that's all right. We got no fight, Mike.
Yeah, and you know it's just kind of funny though because I hope people understand that you know I'll probably go for about another 6 minutes. You were nice enough to be here for an hour and a half. But the fact that you came on this show, we're at 150 people right now in the middle of the day, which is quite a bit. And, you know, a lot of people are going to watch this tonight. And, you know, the fact that you came on here says a lot about you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It might, you know, people might come after me. You know, I have to turn off my likes and dislikes now because they're being ravaged by people that are being told to come in here and do it.
Right.
So, you know, so
Right.
I have no choice. I have to turn it. People are like, oh, he's turning off his likes and dislikes. Yes, my shows have never gotten a lot of dislikes until after this whole thing started with Angel. Just so you do know.
Right.
Okay. It's meant to be a joke. He trolls mob rats and it's hilarious. Okay. Well, Jimmy, why did your brother rat on your name in the 302s?
I don't know that he did. I think he might have mentioned my name. I'm sure
I seen your name on one of the 302s.
Yeah, I'm sure that I was covered by Johnny, if that's the case. And so I'm sure I was never in harm's way with the FBI or anybody else, if in fact that was the case.
And this one says, your brother picks and chooses who he speaks about. He is careful when mentioning serious, capable people who are free and released.
I think that it's a matter of who comes after him.
And on top of that, is that really a bad thing to do? I mean, I would do the same thing, to be honest with you. You got some crazy guys out there, man. You got guys.
Listen, everyone's capable. Johnny, my brother's very capable of handling himself. I'm very capable.
You know what my biggest thing was? Sooner or later, one of these madmen are going to flip and hurt somebody.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, right, going after my brother is digging your own funeral, digging your own grave. Because, like it or not, we have a lot of people in special forces. We have a lot of friends, Albanians, who will do anything, mafia and non-mafia members. And we have a lot of other guys from the streets, from different areas in the streets. So, you know, you come after one of us, you might catch us, you might not. We might kill, you know, someone might get killed in the process or not. But at the end of the day, you're digging your own grave.
Here's a great question. And this is one of the things that are out there and a lot of people talk about. And you know what? I think you're doing a great great job answering these questions. How can you say Alite got chased when you and then see the letters didn't get chased? Then you see the letters he was sending Junior. He got chased for a fact. Basically, they're talking about the letters that he sent, like he got his shit together.
So the question would be, why did he get chased? If he got chased, does anyone have that fact? Why did he get chased? Let's start with that one. Does anyone have a reason why my brother would get chased?
I do.
Go ahead.
But here's what doesn't make sense to me about the whole thing with the being chased.
He wasn't chased. He left.
There was a couple murders that eventually came back on John Jr. And basically, I would say, why would they chase him if they knew these murders were out there? They would do more than chase him.
Right. And listen, the fact of the matter is I was around back then. Johnny left on his own accord. And it was embarrassing to Junior. And then from what happened from there, you could just, it becomes jumbled.
Right.
He said, she said, he said.
Okay.
I think, I'll be honest with you, I think, and this is no disrespect to either Johnny or John, but I think that there was a bromance going on too. And when I see bromance, I mean, you know, they were good friends. And I think John Gotti was hurt by Johnny Lee.
Mob Rat says about disrespects that I disrespected Mob Rats. Mob Rats disrespected me when he went with this Austria woman and they started talking smack about my brother and to me. So that's a bunch of shit. Nothing personal. I'm not going to take that shit. Yeah.
And to me.
Yeah. And he's out. Mob Rat's out there talking shit and hiding his face
all the time.
And we know who, and we know who he is, but he's out there hiding his fucking face. So who's really hiding? He doesn't have enough guts to show his face. Let him come on and show his face and be he's a big tough guy when he has his face hidden. You know, people could say shit. Jimmy Calandria will show his face. The Sicilian will show their face and they'll even fucking fight you. The Mob Rat's this little weasel that runs around and starting all this shit. So how about that one, people? Okay. We'll do a couple more and then we're out of here. Mob Rats is very gifted. He is very funny and honest, and no way he does like anything to do with rats. But he works for one. He defends one.
What are they saying? That he is a rat.
That Mob Rats doesn't like to be around.
They are rats.
They don't know the facts, you know.
Yeah.
If I say the facts, I'm doxing. They're accusing me of doxing.
Exactly.
Jimmy is here to smooth things out over between Lee and John. Lee and John who? I mean, there's no smooth over me and John Alite. So no, Jimmy came here because this was a last minute thing. Jimmy's decided to come here and this happened this morning. So your information is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one last question and then we're going to Lee, what did Mob Rats say about your brother? If he said something, then that was low blow. He had this hooker on a show that he does, and they basically were saying that my brother was in the streets, homeless, and I left him there. And they got this from his story that is out there in the public. It was a lie, but this is not the first time that she did this. So, and Mob Rats laughed about it. And then when he does his little other shows and look at anything he does, he's a sneak, people. He's a rat. He should actually put his rat face back. Okay. Well, people, listen, I thank you. First of all, I like to thank you so much for being on the show, Jimmy.
Thank you very much, Lee. I appreciate it.
And you answered everything. And I'll be, I'll contact you again if anything comes up. But I really do appreciate it. And people, I hope that you appreciated that he came here, he answered your question, he didn't run from anything. Okay, now he's going to leave us and go have some chicken tendies.
Yeah. Thank you again, Lee. Have a great day.
I'm going to take you out of here and then I'm going to talk to my audience, but you take care, my man.
Good enough. Thank you.
Okay, people, that's the show. And I just like to show you, I kept my word, I'm going through a lot with people attacking, trying to destroy this station. But I'm still going to go out and I'm still going to try to bring good people forward. Okay, so I'm going to leave. You guys take care. Bye.